Alrighty. Looks like we are on the last video of our series. Yeah, it's been a very, very good series. We've been talking about how to identify your audience, and we put together the top 5 things to do when building your audience. If you haven't done so, I would suggest that you go back and start at the beginning, because again, we kind of put these here in a specific order, to kind of do, to kind of build the blocks, to kind of layer the learning. So therefore, when it was all said and done, it's kind of like when you're building a house, right? You start with the foundation. So we laid the foundation, which was, first we defined the problem. Then we begin to kind of put the structure or the frame in place, which was we created the audience. And then we kind of start putting the interior components together, the carpet, the hardwood floors, and, the paint and all those things. And then we put together, the specific, pain points. And now we're going to put, finally, the brand on it, Chateau de Lac, uh, the, the Grand Estates, we're now going to basically say, like, who am I? Okay. That's literally where we are is, who am I? And so who am I always starts with, and this is something new that I learned, and I actually like it, and I really apply it to other areas when we start talking about, like, performance. Okay, when we start talking about results, you know, I really like this. In 3 to 5 words, describe the outcome you want to provide your audience. What is it that you're trying to achieve? What are the results that you're trying to get? And you want to be specific with that, right? What is the outcome that you want your audience to get? Okay. And what do you want them to experience afterwards? So we've been talking about an analogy that I've been using, which is clean water, which is one of them. We were talking about how that, you know, the experience that I wanted, you know, um, them to get, that child, that mother, is that once they begin to start, they have access, available, readily access to the clean water, that now they can start having clean water every single day, that the outcome that I want, or the results that I want, is now that child now starts to be at the appropriate weight for their age and size. Okay. That now they're healthy, you know, they're not suffering with any type of diseases, that now they're not missing any school. Okay. Those are the specific results or outcomes that I want my audience to experience. If you have a makeup, or a one of the analogies that we use, or examples that we use, was like a lip gloss. If you have a lip gloss that makes the lips, look hydrated and full, well, now the desired outcome is that, that person has self-confidence. Their lips look healthier, they don't look cracked and peeled and chapped and things like that, right? And so now that's your desired outcome. Okay, what is your desired outcome? What do you want that person to experience? One of my mentees has a Yanni feminine steam product, and she wants that woman to feel empowered. Is one of her key elements, that from the experience perspective, she wants her to feel empowered. She wants her to feel hydrated. She wants her to feel healthy. So those are the things that when you start talking about, okay, my audience, you start saying, okay, well, what's the outcome that I want? What is the outcome? So in 3 to 5 words, you want to sit down and write out the outcome. The next thing that you want to do is define who you are, your title. Okay. Um, you can be, for example, if you're going to be the type of person, like for me, I'm a brand performance. I could be a brand performance strategist, right? My role in what I'm trying to do is to help entrepreneurs, number one, create the brand, build their audience, and launch successful product campaigns. Okay. And I want entrepreneurs to launch profitable, successful campaigns. Okay. That's the outcome, to launch profitable, successful product campaigns. Okay. So they got to be profitable. They have a product and it's got to be profitable, and they're going to launch the product and then it's going to be profitable. Okay. And the campaign is specifically to a desired targeted audience. Okay. So, and when I put that together, I had you in mind. Okay. Because if you remember, when I start saying, okay, who's this for? What is the pain points and what are the triggers? I thought about that one of the things that you were not doing, you were not launching targeted, successful, profitable uh, product campaigns. And so now my content is geared toward helping you to accomplish those things. Okay. So my objective and my goal is to increase your sales. That's really, for me, the bottom line. And it starts with basically creating your brand. Okay. Building your audience. That's where it starts with. And then, like, literally launching successful product campaigns. Okay. So I want you to sit and I want you to think about this. If your goal objective is to restore relationships, then maybe you are a counselor, you're a rehabilitation specialist. Maybe if you're trying to increase a person's, health and wellness, you can be a health and wellness specialist or health and wellness coach. You're there now. And the desired outcome is that you want the individuals that your audience that takes or buys your product to have, one, a sense of wellness. Okay. You want them to if their objective and goal is to lose weight, is you want them to lose weight in a healthy manner, healthy fashion, and you want them to maintain that weight loss. Okay. What is the desired outcome? And here's the thing, if you stay focused on what your desired outcome is, you're not going to be all over the board. Okay. You're not going to be one day trying this. The next day you're trying that. The next day you're trying this. The next day you're trying that. The next day you're trying this. The next day you're trying that. The next day you're trying this. It's like you're trying to find yourself. You know what I'm saying? And so now that's the purpose of this particular lesson. It's like, who are you? What is the desired outcome that you want? And when you get that desired outcome, and then now you begin now to say, like, this is who I am, and then I'm able to give this to you. I'm able to give this to my audience. I'm able to give you know my expertise, my knowledge, my experience, my education, my passion to my audience. And then people, they're going to sense that, and then they're going to connect with you, and they're going to want your product. Okay. The next thing you want to talk about is, your why. What drives you. you know Part of what drove me to doing this is that, number one, is that I felt like that I had some experience, and even though I'm older, I still have experience, and the value that I bring to the table is my experience, and that's what drives me. I have a unique skill set, and my unique skill set is experience. I don't necessarily know all the right answers, but I can tell you, probably more than likely, what doesn't work. And then the other thing is that, I have the ability, a unique gift, which is part of leadership, is to mentor, to coach, to teach, to train. I like public speaking. I like doing those things. And I like to help people grow. you know that's my whole mantra, which gets now into, the mantra is that, I like to see people grow. you know, and growth is important. Do what makes you happy and do what makes you grow. If it doesn't make you happy and if it doesn't make you grow, then don't do it. You know, I remember talking to this guy a while back ago, and I really admired his business operations. I was really thinking about doing business with him, and so we were talking about like his business structure and kind of the operations of his team and how things work and his processes and things like that. And so I finally asked him. I said, "Man, tell me what's the secret of your success?" You know. And he said, "Anthony, let me tell you something." He said, "I've been at this business for 30 years." And he said, "I can tell you what keeps me up at night." He said, "I can tell you all about my struggles. I can tell you my failures. I can tell you what gave me heartburn. I can tell you why, what caused me to fail financially. I can tell you what made my relationship struggle. I can tell you all those things." And he said, "So every morning that I wake up, and when I come here to this office and I sit down and I talk to my team, we make sure that we don't do the things that we know that don't work." That's my mantra. Don't do things that you know that don't work. Don't run plays that you know that do not work. And after you've discovered that, after you've found out that, look, this ain't working, you take a step back, and then now what you do is that you analyze it and you make sure, especially when you're putting together, when you're launching your product, if you're not generating the sales and your audience isn't connecting with you, it's not the audience's fault. It's your fault. It's either the price isn't right, the product isn't attractive, or you got bad processes. It's either price, the product, or it's the processes. It's one of those three things that's causing you not to be successful. So here's the thing: don't keep doing something that you know that doesn't work. Okay. The next thing we get into is that, your mission statement. What is your desired outcome that you want them to experience? And we talked about that. For me, I want you to launch, profitable product campaigns. I want you to launch profitable product campaigns. That's simply my mission, is that I want you to launch profitable product campaigns. And what I'm willing to give is my experience. And what I'm willing to do is to coach you through that process. And what I'm willing to do is to listen and help you to build a strategy, that's going to create those profitable product campaigns. So that way, that when you look back, you can have a viable business. Because here's what's true: within the first 5 years, more than half of businesses fail. In the first 5 years, more than half businesses fail. And part of it is that, again, it boils down to three things. It's either product, the price, it's either the product, the price, or the process. Okay. And sometimes it can even be the people. Okay. Because the person or the people. And you said, well, what do you mean by that, person or people? Sometimes it's the person that has un that the expectations are too lofty. Okay. And sometimes the expectations are not within the realm of reality. Sometimes it's people on your team that you may have, that they are pulling you down. Okay, they're stopping you from being successful, and then therefore what you need to do is change your team out, change team members. You know, but it's either the product isn't right, it's either the price isn't right, the process isn't right, or it's the person or the people. Okay. And so what I sat down and said, what I want to be able to do is to reach out to those entrepreneurs, whether you're a millennial, whether you are a Gen X, or whether you're Gen Z. If you're trying to, launch a business and you're trying to sell a product, I want to be a resource and a coach to help you to accomplish your goals. Okay. And then finally, we get down into, what is your elevator pitch in one short sentence? You want to describe what it is that you do. And in one of my coaching classes that we have on Sundays, we sat down and we worked on, your elevator speech and what that looks like. And your elevator speech is literally supposed to be just short enough to where if you were on the elevator with a person and they ask you what it is that you do, then you can tell them. So, for example, if someone asks me, well, Anthony, what do you do? Well, the name of my company is Earn University. And what we do is we help entrepreneurs, first of all, create their brands. We help them to build their audiences. And then finally, we help them to create strategies to help them to launch profitable uh, product campaigns. Okay. That's what I do. I help entrepreneurs create their brand, to build their audience, and then finally to launch profitable product campaigns. Okay, profitable product campaigns. So that's my short elevator pitch, and it is part of. If you notice, it is a part of the outcome. I have the outcome at the end. Okay, I am um, a sales and marketing um, um, strategist. Okay, sales and marketing strategist. Okay, for all intents and purposes, I'm a brand creation strategist. Okay, I'm a brand creation strategist. Actually, I like that. A brand creation strategist is what I am. Okay, because what I'm doing is I'm taking those brands, basically, again, number one, start with, okay, we're going to create your brand, try to figure out what's the outcome. All right. And then we're going to build your audience. Okay. Just like we build a house, we're going to build your audience. And then once we build your audience, then we're going to figure out how to scale your audience. Okay. And once we scale your audience, and then at that point, you're going to now start launching profitable product campaigns. Okay. So all of these are the tools and the pieces of what it takes now, in closing, to finally get your brand identity. Your brand identity is who you are. And a lot of times I tell my mentees this particular example. I say, look, your brand is who you are known for. What people, when people hear your name, what is it that what connects them to you, what they think about. So for example, for me, um, I'll tell you that one of my favorite stores that I like to shop in is Nordstrom's. And what I like about Nordstrom's is two things. Number one is they have phenomenal service. Everybody's always so friendly. They're always so professional. They act like they want to be there. They act like they want to help you, not serve you, but to help you. And then the second thing is every time I go into Nordstrom's, it always smells good. And I just like that. Always smells good, smells clean, smells fresh. And so that is a part of that experience that I get, and what I relate to. And so when I talk about Nordstrom's, that's what I tell people what I like about them. And so when when I think of Walmart, I think about Black Friday. Okay. And I think about cheap price, Black Friday, get a 55-inch TV for $110. That's what I think about when I think about Walmart. Okay. And so when you start putting together your brand identity of who you are, this is what's going to be important, because the outcome is going to determine, you know what I'm saying? So notice what I said about Walmart, cheapest price, right? That's what they're known for. Walmart is not trying to be Nordstrom's not trying to be Neiman Marcus. They're trying to be the lowest price provider. Okay. They're trying to be the lowest price provider. And in some cases, they're trying to be the best price provider. Not necessarily cheapest, but the best. And so, what is it that you want to be known for? And you have to sit down now and put those pieces together, and then talk about those things, talk about your mission within your content, whether it be on your website, whether it be in advertisement, whether it be in campaigns. You want people to connect to your brand. You want people to get to know you, because when people know you, they'll trust you. And people trust you, they will buy from you. If people don't know you, then they're not going to trust you. And if they don't trust you, they're not going to buy from you. And the only way to bridge that gap is for them to get to know who it is, who you are, and then now what is it that you do? What is it that you provide? So and if they and are they in your audience? And so here's the thing, if a person said doesn't get your product, or they don't like your product, or they think that it's a bad idea, that's okay. Yeah, that's okay. They're not in your audience. Yeah, they're just not in your audience. And so that's the thing that you have to accept, is that that person is not in your audience. And so now what you do is that you move on to people that are in your audience, and you spend your time talking to people that are in your audience. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and end on that note. This has been a really, really good series, the first series, and one of the most important series when we start talking about, launching, profitable product campaigns. You want to start with, this particular series of identifying, your target audience, because without these components, you're not going to be successful. This literally is laying the complete foundation and infrastructure for your business. And if we get this piece right, if we do these things right, okay, if we take our time, and you really invest time in doing this, you're going to be successful. Because now the outcome that you should get from this is that now you'll be able to specifically talk to those individuals that need your product, that need and that want your product. And then also you'll be able to talk to people that say, you know what, it'd be nice to have that product, but specifically those people that need and that people that want your product. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and end on that note. And I want to again thank you for your time. Thank you for being here and being patient with me. And I hope that you've gained a lot of value from this here content, and that I hope that it'll be able to grow you. Please reach out to me, and let me know if you need any individual one-on-one coaching, as I am available to provide that. Thank you very much.